Симона, скажите, как думаете, ждет ли будущее, какое будущее ждет документальные проекты о Майдане, украинские, которые мы сегодня презентовали?
Я думаю, тема сейчас очень актуальная, особенно выборам, и я думаю, что есть большой интерес. Конечно, наверное, не все проекты попадают на международную арену, но я думаю, некоторые они их покупают и по фестивалям их тоже показывают. Там очень интересные человеческие истории, это очень важно. Я думаю, что шансы, конечно, есть.
И я знаю, что Германия очень активно поддерживает нашу кампанию в поддержку Олега Сенцова.
Да, нет, это мы очень поддерживаем, потому что, во-первых, мы его хорошо знаем, как режиссера, хорошего, талантливого режиссера. Для него следующего проекта есть немецкие деньги на копродукцию. Мы вообще не можем понять, как его можно было так арестовать. Это нарушение, значит, всех законов. И мы, конечно, будем поддерживать все петиции и вообще будем делать все, что сможем, чтобы его как-то оттуда выпустить. Поэтому мы работаем с прессой, со всеми, и эту кампанию поддерживаем без ограничений.
Спасибо большое.
Oh, you work for them or
yes.
You work for them?
Я ваш студент. А я сейчас заставлю, потому что я не могу здесь за 58 писем.
Difficult situation that we have, but we are very glad to present you the real truth about events in Ukraine, what does mean Maidan, that is very important for us. To say briefly for people who are a little bit out from our Ukraine situation, why this name Maidan became the sign of our events and our revolution in Ukraine. You know that our ex-government, they announced during 3 years, their Euro integration and to sign Euro association with European Union. And on the last moment, they did not do this. They did not sign it. Of course, I don't make the big, long speech and to explain everything. Of course, it was a big pressing from Russia. We have nothing against our Russian friends, but it's truth. And after the last visit of our ex-president Yanukovych with Mr. Putin, it was absolutely another direction. And the young people, mostly young people, came on our Independence Square, that square in Ukrainian Maidan, that little bit maybe Turkish word even from our historical roots, and they asked in a very peaceful protest about Euro integration. It was not such big crowd, maybe a few hundred people, but they stood day and night with posters, with this yellow tree, because it was the end of November. You know, we celebrate St. Nicolaus Day on 13 days later than in Europe with Catholic tradition. In our Orthodox it's 19th of December. And usually the New Year tree is placed on this square really for St. Nicholas Day. But then they decided to have such idea to put the new year before. So they need the space, and at the night time, these peaceful young people were terribly beaten on this square. And after this, thousands of people, older people, came on this square, and it was even another protest until against this government. And we had everything against Yanukovych and his team. So then it was few events on the some main street that is going up to the parliament, to the residence of the president, where the government blocked the street, and I live there. It was very difficult to move, and can you imagine, in the peace time, they ask you your passport and where you go. So it was another kind of protest against all this. And at least our ex-president flew away, of course, to Russia. And another residence, his residence was opened with the terrible things as the golden batons that we call our white bread, and really milliards of money, and etc., etc. So, I don't continue on this, but after, you know, we have another things very difficult for us, because occupation of Crimea, the same as it was, maybe our Slovakian and Czech friends can understand this better, with the annexion of Sudets that was made at the beginning of the Second War by Hitler, etc., etc. And now a lot of diversions in eastern part of Ukraine.
Especially the documentary screening is with the aim of changing the people's mind, people's relation to reality. So these cool guys are trying to do this to persuade whole Ukraine that we have to, and we can live better than we do. And now we are going to watch the short two-minute video, which is about this project.
Broadcasting Union assembled from famous Ukrainian journalists who this broadcaster was founded not so long ago, about half a year, and they were broadcasting almost round the clock all the protests through these 3+ months. So we're going to watch it now. I will tell something similar. So this is the video about the last days of protests, the most violent part of Dень Майдану, which was between 18th and 20th February, when as I've said, were on Institutska Street. Institutska Street is near Maidan, and it was the site of one of the biggest barricades. And behind the barricades were the most of the right-wings. During these days, 70 civilians were killed and 11 postal officers. And overall, I think about, as far as I remember, about 400 were injured, and some of them later died in hospital.